I'm good.
Are we back? Sorry, everyone.
Technical difficulties.
But anyway, so as I was saying, it was my husband's vow renewal.
Yeah.
We had an amazing time, um, which led me to start a new venture. I'm going to be doing group travel plans. Can't wait
Yes.
for that. We'll be going to some interesting places and covering that on future episodes. Because my mama didn't tell me all about travel, did you?
No, they. Hold on a second. They can't hear me, right? Okay. Hello, Mom. We kobla na tiwa. We kobla na tiwa. Okay. Bye bye. Lady that takes the FCC.
New season, new set, new mic that want to give trouble today. But anyway, I was saying, no, I had a good time this summer. And then, I tried some new things. I semi swam in a canoe.
That's no such a thing. You either swam or you didn't. Or you swam.
I didn't die.
Look at that. Look at God. Won't he do it? Won't he do it?
Will he do it? But anyway, so yeah, we had a really good summer, and
I was actually tired.
yeah,
Like, I wonder if there's such a thing as over travel. This is the first time I felt it in a long time.
yeah,
I felt like every week I was packing and unpacking a suitcase,
yeah,
washing the clothes, throwing them back in,
yeah.
replenishing toiletries. Like I just felt like I was on the go. Very proud of myself. Guys, welcome to Things My Mama Never Told Me. We apologize, we're having some technical difficulties. We hope you can hear us now and that all is well. So, like I was saying before we got disconnected, I was very proud of myself. I took a 5-day trip with a carry-on.
Oh,
And I repeated no outfit. I did a carry-on, the rolling suitcase carry-on, and the backpack and the purse. I was so proud of myself.
I would have never survived.
And no repeat. And I actually helped a couple of people do this summer, so I was quite proud of myself.
I don't even want to be, I don't want to live that type. I need to burn all the things. Okay? And I'm not ashamed of it. Why should I be ashamed of it? Why shouldn't I have options? Why shouldn't I have different shoes, different outfits, or my makeup, toiletries, different smells and scents for every day? I should have it all, even when I'm on vacation.
You should. You should.
Thanks. So let's get started. We are going to start with our questions. Joyce, what question do you want to take first? These are all anonymous, by the way.
I want to take number 4.
Okay.
Can I read it?
Go ahead.
Dear Joy and Joyce, I have been dealing with this girl for about 2 years now. We've expressed how we feel, but I'm iffy because of my past experiences as well as hers. The other day, when I was at a party, she saw me with another girl and had some invasive questions. We never spoke about other people, even though we weren't together, so I don't feel like it was any of her business. However, she brought up some great points about transparency that I don't agree with, but understand. Am I in the wrong? So, there's a couple things with this question. I'm not even sure, are we dealing with, I don't know if a male wrote this question or a female wrote this question. So that's the first thing, but I think the answer is the same.
Okay.
For me, if we've been dealing together for 2 years, you've been invading some parts of my body. So don't tell me I'm being invasive, excuse me.
Right.
So some levels, some modes of invasion are okay, right?
Right.
But I can't ask no questions.
Right.
And you know I love a good question.
Right.
We've met. So, and a person taught me once, he said, well, the reason why I don't ask a question because I don't want you to ask the same one back.
Okay.
So sometimes in the very beginning, people are really closed mouth because they don't want back and forth questioning, right? Because if you say to me, well, who are you dealing with now? And then I have the right to say to you, well, who are you dealing with now?
Right.
But I know it's also a different generation. Again, we don't know how old these people are or anything, or this person that wrote this. But if I'm dealing with you on an intimate level, there's some questions I'm going to ask. And I think it should be okay.
Okay.
How do you feel?
First of all, I need to know all the tea, the real tea. I don't know if I'm going to be able to handle this with these anonymous questions, y'all. I need some background. I need to know who it is if I know you. Because now I want the tea. So first, I think that a man wrote this.
Okay.
Just the way the question is phrased. I don't, but again, to me, there's no difference in the answer. 2 years means there was some level of commitment, right? And whether or not they've been physical or not, based on the fact that there's some level of commitment after 2 years, I think that the girl does deserve answers from this person. And, to consider these questions invasive, yes, sir or madam, you are in the wrong, okay? You should be answering these questions. And also, it depends on how the questions were posed to you, right? But you should absolutely be answering these questions. And you know what? if the relationship wasn't well defined before, define it now. Because clearly, this woman didn't expect to walk into this party and see you with somebody else, right? So we know that part. So let's kind of forget about the right and wrong, right? And now have a conversation. Establish some boundaries, establish what your relationship is.
And let me add about transparency. So I think, that became a buzzword. We hear it in politics a lot, right? Transparency, transparency.
Right.
But even within your relationships, you have to be clear about what your expectation is.
Right.
Because like you said, this young lady did not expect
Right.
to walk into somewhere else and see you with somewhere else.
Right.
See you with
Right.
another person, right?
Right.
So what does transparency mean for you?
Right. They need to define all of those.
No, I'm asking you, what does transparency mean for you?
For me? To be completely open and honest with someone. If I want to be. I mean, now I have to be. I'm married, right? I made that commitment to my husband. But there were relationships where I have to say I wasn't, because that's not what we were doing, right? But I'm trying to think back. Geez, like I guess that was established, but I don't feel like I was ever dishonest in any of my previous relationships. Like I just feel like I made sure things were established. This is what it is, and if you don't like it, bye.
So is it dishonest for me not to tell you something because you didn't ask?
You mean an omission?
Yes.
That's man talk.
No, but I'm asking, right? I'm asking if we meet and we hook up,
Right.
let's say, and then 2 months later you see me somewhere with next dude.
Right.
If you never asked me if there was another, and is it wrong?
It's not wrong. I don't think it's dishonest. Like, but your relationship wasn't defined. And so if that person got upset, right, would he have a right to get upset? Yeah. Like, you can't tell people how to feel, but also he has to take some responsibility because he didn't take the time to define your relationship.
Okay, I'll take that. I'll take that.
Right?
And another thing, so appearances. So just looking at the question, they've been dealing for 2 years.
That's a long time.
And they've expressed how they feel, but I'm iffy. So the person who wrote this said, I'm iffy.
Right.
So for all we know, the young lady on the other end is madly in love.
Right.
And has told everybody that we booed up.
Right.
And then to go out now and see you with someone else is like, but I thought it was about me. We've told each other how we feel.
And she was embarrassed.
There's that embarrassing piece. There's that embarrassing piece.
Sir or ma'am, you are real lucky you made it out that party in one piece. Because I know I know some folks who would have set it off up in there. Okay?
So I think the final bit of advice I would give is if this is someone that you actually care about, have that discussion.
Absolutely.
Have that discussion about transparency and boundaries and whatever the things are you plan to do and how you plan to be with each other.
Right.
But have that discussion if that person means something to you, for sure. For sure. How about you? Any final words of advice?
No, I agree, and I still want to know who these folks are.
Look, listen here, Joy. We said it was anonymous, okay? You're a mess. You're a mess. All right. Next question you pick. Go for it.
All right. Next question. A mother's love is a powerful force of protection. How can I maintain the relationships that mean so much to you, yet so little to me when you are no longer here? I am well aware of the protection you provided me from judgment, mistreatment, and hurtful words. Now that you are no longer here in the flesh, should I let those relationships fade away,
or should I take the high road for the sake of family and friendship? How can I honor you while still protecting myself in this world? Simply something you never told me. Mm. So having experience in this particular area, I'm going to say you come first. Protect yourself first. Your mother is no longer here. I think it would honor her to know that you aren't here alone, allowing these people to judge, mistreat, and hurt you. You have to protect your peace. You know? And I often find that people say, especially when it comes to family, that's the excuse. It's literally, well, that's your family. And that means that you have to be traumatized by some of their actions. I don't subscribe to that.
Trauma is not okay.
Not at all. You know, I will kick somebody to the curb in a minute.
Nobody should make you feel any kind of way. It's not okay, and I think that's a very common thread within some of our communities.
Mm-hmm.
That, oh, that's my family, so I accept it and I take it.
Right.
And it's very prevalent in our communities. And it's something we've got to break away from. Breaking away from that trauma, breaking away from, this person makes me feel bad.
Right.
I have to stop. I have to leave that relationship. And the thing is, with our mothers, right, or even back as our grandmothers, they kept those relationships going.
Absolutely.
They were invited to every family dinner and everything that went on. And so it may hurt you a little bit,
right,
to let those relationships go.
It's because you're used to the familiarity of it, right? Like that's, when you have these big Thanksgiving and Christmas gatherings and summer barbecues, these are the people that you're used to seeing. And if you have children, the same people that you probably got your children used to seeing and knowing. But it's unhealthy, right? Like, my mother passed away, and one of the things that my cousins and I agreed on was that we were going to stick together because all of those siblings are gone, right? So we were going to stick together. Shout out to New Brockton, Alabama, even though they spread out. Talk about y'all. We're that core group of cousins. We're gonna stick together. They're scattered all over the country, but we know who we are. We the Harris clan. That's who we refer to ourselves as. But there's some folks in that Harris clan that we don't mess with. Because especially after folks died, people's true colors kind of came out, and we was just like, nah, we don't get down like that. So, I mean, I'll keep it 100. My son transferred schools. He's in a state right now. The family around here don't know he's there.
Okay. For his protection, for your protection.
For my protection, because my thing is, if you gonna carry on like that with me and the other cousins, and we grown, I'm not gonna trust you with my son.
Agreed.
So.
And another thing that I get at when I see this is taking the high road for the sake of family and friendship. We do that a lot.
Too much.
We protect the peace. I personally don't like conflict. I will sometimes let things go or sweep them because I don't want the conflict. Like if it's not a glaring thing, I'm like, oh, that's who such and such is, or that's who such and such is. And it's not always fair.
But conflict is healthy.
It's
like
true.
people say, oh, they don't like conflict, they don't like to argue. That's healthy. As long as it's a respectful exchange. It's not always negative, right? Like let the person know what they did that you don't like. Have a discussion, because this person sounds like, these people, the relationships, I guess the thought of the relationship means so much. Let the person know, or persons know what they did. Or before you leave, Just say, this is why I'm not dealing with you anymore. And let it be done.
And I feel like, well, I'm reading into the words, I feel a little anxiety around it, right?
Mm-hmm.
You provided me protection from judgment, mistreatment, and hateful words.
Right.
Now you're not here in the flesh. It's almost like mom, that mother not being here, that mother was a shield
Right.
and protected this person.
Right.
And now that person feels vulnerable.
Right.
And you know what? And maybe some of those words and some of those, even those actions, right? What was it? I forget what movie. Y'all left Uncle Joe alone with them kids. Y'all left Uncle such and such alone with them kids.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, all those stories and don't leave them alone with him. Don't leave them.
Right.
And the generation before something
Right.
went down, but they kept Uncle whoever around
Right.
out of respect for the other
Right.
people that were there. So.
Right.
I think one of the things I would say is if you're feeling any anxiety or strong emotions around this family or these feelings,
Mm-hmm.
possibly seek some counseling services
Mm-hmm.
to help ease some of that anxiety, and that'll help you and maybe train you in ways to protect your peace.
Right. Right. I talked about my mother's side, but the sad part is I don't even really mess with my dad's side of the family. And we were really, really close, like very close. And I think I feel it most when sometimes people make assumptions, like, was your father even in the house? Because he passed away a long time ago, right? So, like, was your father even in the house? Yeah, my parents were married. I grew up with my father, but they see more so like you. You've probably never met but maybe one person from my dad's side, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's because I had to choose to protect my
Yourself.
peace.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So it's, literally the person that I'm talking about who I speak to the most.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like once my father died, and I'm saying this on the air because I've had the conversation, because you know me. I don't hold my tongue. I will tell you how I feel. It was just like when he passed away, it was like me and my mother were non-existent.
That's hurtful.
Yeah, because there's the people that I grew up with often. And I'm telling you, like, they'll have family functions. I'll see it on Facebook. I'm like, I don't live that far away.
I felt the same way when my dad died.
Right?
100% the same way. Yeah, I don't know what happens. I don't know what it is. But there's also from my mom is still here with us. She just turned 85 the other day.
Yeah.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Fifi.
birthday, Fee. Mm-hmm.
And there was a lot of hurt around when my father died,
Mm-hmm.
and when my grandmother died.
Mm-hmm.
So she took hard stands.
Mm-hmm.
Such and such didn't show up
Mm-hmm.
when your dad died.
Mm-hmm.
Such and such didn't show up when your grandmother died. And whoa, does she hold a grudge?
Mm-hmm.
And so we also don't know in those circumstances, because we were children, we were
Right.
younger.
Right.
We don't know what transpired after the person passed away.
I know what transpired. Nothing.
I can't with you. I can't. Any final words of wisdom for this particular letter?
Protect your peace. Protect your peace. If you feel like, this person or persons has judged you and really hurt you in the past, there are no rules to say that you have to keep up the relationship. Unfortunately, mother is no longer here, so that relationship is gone. If you want to work on the relationship, you're not going for trying, but you have to let the person know what they did to hurt you, right? And they have to receive that. They don't want to receive that, and they're making themselves the victim, and they want to turn it back on you. Bye.
Mm-hmm. Protect your peace.
Okay, what else do we have?
Can I do the next one?
Sure.
Dear things my mama never told me crew. I've been married for a while, and we absolutely love it. Hubs and I really enjoy each other. Our careers are very demanding, and we try to make time for each other, but often we end up falling asleep on the couch while watching TV, and I'm fearful things are getting boring. Please help. are we getting old? Like, we're really fun people and still young. For reference, we are empty nesters. Well, so this is so funny because falling asleep watching TV is one of my favorite pastimes.
Right.
We stay falling asleep. You know, and sleep is good for you. It regenerate. I can't say the word. Regenerates you. You wake up feeling refreshed. You know, it's one thing if you're falling asleep in different parts of the house, but if you're falling asleep next to each other, that's fine. Now they're saying they're empty nesters, so I'm going to take a little bit of an assumption and think they're somewhere between 50 and 60, give or take, right? The kids are all out, they're grown. So, I mean, I think it's okay. Well, how do you feel?
So I can kind of relate to this question because I find that because they made it a point to say they're empty nesters. I find that when you have kids, a lot of your relationship becomes centered around the kids, right? And then when the children leave, it's like, what do we do now? So I'll tell you, my husband and I are semi-empty nesters, right? Like we have one left, and she doesn't really pay us any attention. 16-year-old girls. So, when she wants to be bothered with us, we have something to do. But when she's in her own space or like we're friends or something like that, like we have to kind of fill that time. Now, falling asleep on the couch is our love language. I'm going to tell you, the couch is comfortable.
Tell them about it.
But I'll tell you some interesting things that we started to do because this person sounds very similar to us. Like, it sounds like they kind of want to get that old feeling back, and dating is very important.
Yes.
So dating. So I really can't stand our producer, right? I'm gonna break the third wall.
He's making us
right
laugh
now because he's typing things that we should say, and it's got us dying laughing. So I was like, hey babe, because everybody knows like I'm a workout freak, right? And he is the complete opposite. So I was like, let's try to work out together. So let's start with taking some walks. We'll go with the dogs. And so then, like, we have these group of people. There's like 4 of them whose last name I shall not reveal. One is sitting to my right. They all like to engage in like all these water activities. So I was like, oh babe, let's take swimming lessons together. Right? So we started with our swimming lessons together. And during the lessons, like we could talk, we could laugh, but
Heart pause. So you're ready for the snorkeling adventure, the next trip?
Not yet.
I took her snorkeling already, y'all, but she wouldn't get in the water. Next trip, you're taking lessons. I got the proof. You said it on there.
But like, because I'm short, he's really tall. And so he's on one end of the pool, I'm on the other. So, last lesson I kind of tried to get over to the other side. And then him and I had this great idea also to do things with other couples, like to start this couples workout groups. Y'all have failed so far to
How did we fail? I answered the survey.
Workout people.
I answered the survey.
The guys turned our group into a football group, but
well, that's what had happened. Yeah. Next episode.
But yeah, like, try to kind of get back to that dating and courtship phase because it's really fun. And if all else fails, have dirty, freaky sex. That's always fun. What about you? What's your advice?
So I tried to, even when we were dating, I tried to always at least try to have a meal or 2 together. Which is hard for us because I'm at a job that I'm on a day shift. His job fluctuates. He could go to work at 5 o'clock in the morning, come home at 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right.
Or go to work at 10 o'clock and come home at 10 o'clock at night. So because his job fluctuates, trying to capture that meal.
Right.
And it just starts with, hey, what are we having for dinner?
Right.
And if he says, well, I think I'm going to cook, oh, could you please make me pork chops? You know, and even he's in the kitchen, and I'll sit at the kitchen table, even if I go through my day with him. Then we still end up on the couch and fall asleep. Be clear, that is our love language.
Yes.
But we do try. We really try. This afternoon. Ooh, did we have a nap? We just napped. It was great. It was a great rainy Saturday. Great. And again, I co-sign ending with, sex.
Dirty, freaky sex.
I did not say that on the air. She did.
I like the meal together idea. I would say, probably eat dinner together 90% of the time, with the exception of the months September through February on Monday and Thursday nights.
Honey, yeah, this is football season. But I will say that if he goes to watch football and he brings back stuff, like I woke up on Tuesday morning, there was pizza. It's like, I brought you back pizza.
He ain't brought me nothing back, and they was at the same party.
Sorry.
Wonder whose fault that is. I heard there was like some good beef dish made one night.
Oh,
one
it
of
was
these
great.
football events.
You missed it. Start showing up, sis. I even did fantasy, y'all. Start showing up. But things like that, even me, like doing fantasy football with them last season, very stressful. I had to opt out this year because the anxiety over who's healthy every week, I don't even know how they get through it. But I loved it. I did it last year. But maybe get involved in different things together. Read a book together.
Yeah.
A lot of those meals are actually eaten in front of the big television that he had me put up on the wall.
Right.
And
you ain't put that TV up.
well, we put up on the proverbial week. No, I didn't know. I didn't know. The proverbial week. Anyway.
You was giving directions and asking questions.
Anyway, a lot of those meals are in front of the TV, watching
Right.
something together, and then falling asleep promptly after the dishes are moved.
Right.
But it's what we do. It's totally our love language.
Right. So I went to an event today, and it was a bingo event. I'm an old lady. And they had, those baskets, like for raffle. The only basket I wanted to win was the couple's date night basket.
Ooh, nice.
And it had some interesting things in it that I think people don't think about, like candle making together. There was something in there. I asked.
Did you win it?
No, but I asked one of our friends to take a picture of it, and I'll share it with you when she sends it to me. But there was something like hand something making. I guess you're making a handprint together. I don't know. But yeah, like kind of think outside the box. Is my advice to this person. So, some of the things that you did when you were younger and you courted, you might not be interested in now. So, like, do all those old people things together. They're interesting to me.
There are also a lot of couples games.
Yeah.
Like there's some couple questions. And just like a regular game. Like we'll play this game called Roomy Cube, and I get so excited when I beat him. Like, I brag him for like find a game you can play with just two people.
Right.
Maybe quick, 10-minute game or 15-minute game where you could get to the end and get bragging rights for a week or something like that, or do something like that.
Let me tell you, Rob and I have a card game. It's a religious card game, so, not trying to push it on anybody, but it's very cool. Like, you get to ask questions, and there's corresponding Bible verses.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah,
that sounds
so
good.
I'll show it to you. It's like a really nice game, and it's like cards, but, you flip them over and ask the questions and read corresponding Bible verse, and it actually makes you have a deeper conversation.
I like that.
Yeah, so, I would say think outside the box.
I love that.
All right, so last question for the evening. And again, remember, folks, send in your questions to thingsmymamanevertoldme @gmail.com. Because I think I want to make this a segment. What do you think?
I like this. Not every week, but maybe like,
Yeah.
every couple. I like this a lot. I like this.
We could do like one question.
Or even if you have some comments about what we've said today, write in. Let us know how you're feeling. Completely anonymous.
We didn't take any callers tonight, but I just wanted to start the opening episode like with just us, because we haven't. With just us. All right, so last question. Ooh. See, again, I can't do the anonymous thing. I want to know the tea.
No.
Dear Mama, how do you leave a perfect relationship when all you have to go on is a feeling that it is time to leave? Hashtag true story. Who's that? I feel like they would tell one of us we know who they are.
We don't know who they are, so it's not. The moral of the story is it's not perfect. Because it's not perfect. A feeling that it's time to leave, that means something went sideways. They did something you didn't like.
Right.
Or you're bored. Or you saw something that sparks your interest. You know, so no such thing as perfect. There's so many things missing here.
I know.
And it's this one is actually labeled Dear Mama.
Yeah.
So that's something their mama never told them, when do you go?
So there's a lot of layers to this. So they have the perfect in quotation marks, which leads me to believe that this was perfect on the outside. So everybody who was looking at this couple saw, you know, husband and wife, maybe some kids, wonderful jobs, nice house, nice cars, dressed nice, probably went to church every Sunday. And so that's what they saw, but behind closed doors, there was something else going on, and maybe the author of this letter didn't know what was going on, but had that feeling. I don't know if this is a male or a female. I believe everybody kind of gets an instinct. I know we call it a woman's instinct or intuition,
Woman's
right?
intuition,
Woman's
yeah.
intuition. But I feel like everybody kind of feels something's off when someone kind of starts moving funny, moving different.
And you can't even explain that. There's no,
Right.
But moving different is a whole vibe.
Yeah.
Like I felt that at jobs when it was time to leave.
Yeah.
Moving different is a thing.
Yeah.
And when somebody starts to move different, it's time to go.
So the question is, how do you leave? Just go.
Just
you
go.
know, I don't play games.
Bye. Deuces.
No, I'm lying. 'Cause
It's-
this was like
so-
our first episode.
Moving different
Yeah.
is every day I got a text at 8 a.m. Because your job is 9 to 5. Good morning. I got the call during your lunch.
Right.
I got invited to a date.
Right.
We spent 3 out of 7 days a week together
Right.
for the last 6 months.
Right.
On month 7, some days you call, some days you don't.
Right.
I no longer get a lunchtime call. I'm no longer asked out on dates. You moving different. Now you moving different.
And so, do you approach the person when you think they're moving different? Because it sounds
Have we
like
met?
met?
Yeah. What's up? What's going on? What do you
Yeah.
mean? What's going on? You're moving different.
Right. Because it sounds like this person is just kind of like,
I think I ask a lot of questions.
Yeah.
And when someone's not transparent with me or doesn't give me the answers, I come to my own conclusions.
Right.
Right? Because if you're mute, if you give me no answers, you give me time to be in my head and to come up with all the scenarios. And if any of those scenarios involve me getting hurt or not treated with the respect that I feel that I deserve or earned, then I'm out.
Right.
And leaving, how do you leave? Bye. Like I don't.
Right, right. So I would say have a conversation, because if this is the perfect relationship, right? Maybe there's some sort of commitment, right?
Mhm.
I don't know how many years, but like nobody just ups and leaves. That's why I was just like, I'll say deuces, but I'm lying because I think what episode 1 we was talking about it, right? So have a conversation. You know, maybe try some counseling. Um, See if each other still wants the same thing. Like I think people get lost in the word commitment and think they have to stay together for life, and that's not always. he's
Our producer is at it
he's
again,
at it
guys.
again. He's at it again. Not always the case, right? Some people grow apart, right? So this person may not be doing something sinister. There might be a real issue. So I feel like have a conversation. Couples counseling is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And if all else fails, spice it up. And if that doesn't work, then leave.
You know, you said a good thing. Also, people grow and they change, or that was the representative. So for 6 months, you got who that person was trying to be.
Right,
Now you on month 7, and this is who they really are.
right.
And now that you're seeing who they're, the layers, the onion is being peeled back, the layers are coming off. It's like, maybe you're right. And sometimes you're not wrong. Your intuition's not wrong.
Right, right.
If you're around other couples, if you're hanging out with other people, people that know you or people that know the other person, they can say to you, "Oh, you seem nice, but I don't know now." You know, you can figure that out with help from your people. Definitely with help from your tribe. I should say not your people, your tribe. But yeah, no such thing as perfect.
Well, my last thoughts are, you know, like Joyce just said, no certain things are perfect. Try new things. Try counseling. Try to talk it out. But don't kick yourself, you know, if you can't make it work. I guess this goes back to the question with the empty nesters who were, you know, this person was concerned about getting bored because routines are relationship killers, right? You know, like you just get into that old habit and then starting to take each other for granted that they're just gonna be there. You know, switch it up a little bit.
And, you know, I would also add to that, if this is a marriage we're talking about, or even a long-term relationship with children involved and something like that, you do want to try everything you can to make this work,
Absolutely.
right? If this is a 6-month relationship, if you're not as invested, then maybe it is time for you to go ask some questions, ask some probing questions, and move on. But if this is a committed relationship where you made vows, where there are other lives involved, give it a chance, right? 20-some-odd-year-old me would be quick to leave, but older me, more seasoned.
Where we going?
Is different. Is definitely different.
That's till death do us part.
It's a long time.
Oh,
it's a long time. Where am I going? Nowhere.
Well, thank you all for watching tonight. We will be back again next month with a very exciting topic. But again, I want to invite you all to send in your Dear Mama questions, and they will be read live on air. We'll keep you anonymous, even though I might text you on the side. Cause
no.
So juicy.
No.
We have a juicy episode where somebody gives me the real tea.
No.
Anyway, love you all. I just want to say, to those down in the southern states, Georgia, North Carolina, parts of North Carolina, Georgia, Florida, I hope you all are safe. I hope everyone's lights are back on. I hope that you didn't get too much damage from this Hurricane Helene.
I know, that's crazy.
I gotta fly down and repair some damages. But everyone's safe, thank God. You are in our thoughts and prayers.
For sure.
It was a very, very bad hurricane. So our prayers are with you on tonight. But thank you all to our audience. Please like, subscribe, turn on notifications, share. We're on Facebook. FaceTube. Now I sound like my mama. Get me off of FaceTime. Facebook. That's what she used to say. We're on YouTube. Things my mama never told me. We are on Facebook. Things my mama, not mother, mama, never told me. We are on Instagram. Things my mama never told me. And our email address is thingsmymamanevertoldme@gmail.com.
And can I add one more thing? Please remember to vote and to register to vote if you're not registered.
And if you haven't checked in a while, make sure you know where your polling place is.
For sure.
And for all of the college students out there, there's still time. Send in and request your absentee ballots so you can get it and you can vote as an absentee voter. Come up with a plan. Families, moms, dads, help your kids out. I helped my kid out, kept asking. And you know, just because they go to college doesn't make them automatically a resident in that state, okay? But yeah, families get together, come up with your voting plans, reach out to your local board of electors. They will help you. We're not telling you who to vote for. We just telling you to get out and vote.
Vote, vote, vote. Like your future depends on it. Vote.
Because they do.
It does.
And on that note, we love you all.
See you next time.
See you next time.
Bye. So do I. We need a blooper reel.